Okay, chaps, welcome back, Battle Brothers. We are just about to go out to go hunt some spiders and some web necks and whatnot. We need, because we do need more spider poison, some other stuff. Dog check. And if we're fighting spiders, I don't think I want to go in with this weapon setup. Whoa. Does it really matter? As long as we're using the one-handed weapons, that'll be fine. Yeah, this is my goblin setup. I'm not sure I want that actually. Nobel the thrower. Borscht. Maru. Out of these two, like Onimaru and Samon, they're quite close together, but then again, good better defense, more fatigue, no morale triggered on losing hit points. I mean, Survivor is good, and Iron Jaw is good. (97 to 93 to 97). So 4 less, but only 3 levels below, so he's slightly less accurate, but I like his defense. 65 hit points to 60 hit points are the same. Onimaru has a way better resolve though. I think Onimaru is better than Samon. Costs 19 daily, 18 daily. Oh yeah, Onimaru is way better. He's cheaper too. So, if I get rid of one of these two, then I want to replace them with another thrower. I've got 2 javelin specialists, 2 hybrid throwers. Where are we going? Forest region of Deep Covert. And there it is. Head southwest. A temple. The relations there are threatening, so we'll see if we can get in there. There were a few legendary mercenary companies throughout history, close to having our name. No. Head out to prestigious weapons, shield, armor, and helmet. We've probably got that already. Weapon, shield, armor, helmet. I want to get our renown up higher. It's still only legendary after 800 days, but it should be like at least double that. That's just part of what it's like. Won't talk to us. From this background, trading caravan, we gain renown at half the rate. Goblins. Ooh, direwolves, yes please. No! You foolish goblins. The gobbos are getting eaten. Direwolves, we may as well go for the 2-handed weapons. Perfect. Although I would have actually preferred spiders. The direwolf skin is fine. Getting lads. But I would have preferred the crafting materials from the spiders. After doing this fight, we might just run around and see what else we can find. Great damage. Lads are doing well. We are in a bit of a grind, if we're honest. We need to be fighting a bunch of goblins. Got to kill 4 more outposts. Only done 1 outpost. It's gonna suck a little. You lads stay where you are, although, well, decent damage. Get up there, boys. Woo. Now these, they don't seem to be frenzied direwolves, that's good. The frenzied ones are a friggin' nightmare to deal with. Let's hope Pumulus can get a big ol' hit there. Yeah, the camera a bit big. Oh, bled to death, lol. Nice one, Sinrig. Post. Oh, how are you, mate? Oh, wait and let Pumulus swing in a big circle. I want to see how many he can hit. 87, 84. Only a single kill. We can try again. 3 killed. And you see he doesn't have reach advantage, which is why I would have wanted him to have reach advantage, which is why I need to retrain him. Pumulus is the one lad who I would actually spend that forgetfulness potion on. A lot of dogs. The wolf hat on the crossbow guy is a legendary item that I bought. It was after I completed a caravan mission. The caravan missions, once you are fully established, like I am, if you're carrying a lot of money, like I am, I think I had like 50,000 gold at the time, and you get a caravan mission, you should consider where the location is of the caravan mission, the destination is. Because if it's a destination that has a weaponsmith or an armorer, and you've got money to burn, you should consider taking that caravan mission, because then you're more likely to get legendaries that you can buy. I am still finding it quite frustrating how much more armor and shields appear. Getting legendary weapons is way more difficult than getting legendary armor. I mean, almost everyone's wearing full legendary armor, but we've got very few legendary weapons. Well, it's fair enough that you might not know that. It's something that it took me a long time to appreciate, because it takes you so long to get set up, established. Release the hounds, men. Get him, quick, Paul. Good boy. I have a special affinity for the dogs here in Battle Brothers, because they look like they're pit bulls or Staffordshire Bull Terriers. My dog's a Staffy. Didn't find that hat at all. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the total amount of legendaries, there's hundreds of them. There's literally hundreds. There's like 6 or 10 of each different armor and weapon types, so there's loads. And legendaries are on tiers as well. Like the top tier ones have better stats than the lower tier ones. The lower tier ones just have slight increases to the base stats. Like this whip that we got, it's technically a legendary whip, but the only thing that makes it better is that it does like 10% more damage against armor, and it builds up 2 less fatigue per swing. That's it. It's this one. Yeah. Mortal Tongue. 21 damage ignores armor. That's still bugger all because the base damage is so low. But it is good though. You'll see in our next playthrough, when I have my next warband, Pain incorporated, in fact, every single person is going to have direwolf body armor attachment. So the guys who have the direwolf body armor attachment and a direwolf hat like that are going to look pretty badass. Pretty cool. That's so 5 pelts and an adrenal gland. We have the heads we need. Let's just see if we can't find some spiders. Ooh. Brigands. Anyway, so in terms of the objective of what I want to achieve with Damage Inc. before the new DLC comes out and we start a new warband, that I want to try all the legendary locations. Let's see, some drugs. No thanks. I think if that goes positively, you get some free medicine. If that goes badly, you get some of your guys get sick. Here we go, web nets. And now this right here is why you need to stockpile spears, and eventually once you can afford them, you want to get fighting spears. Fighting these little creepy crawlies need the spears. Where do we get that? Oh cool, we picked up that fighting spear from a boss, I think. Oh yeah, unfortunately for this playthrough, we tried the Madman's Cleaver mission. We failed it, and then that cave actually disappeared. So I don't know if that is the way it's supposed to work, or whether it's a bug, so we never got to get it. Disappointing. Especially considering that this warband does have 2 cleaver specialists, and we even had 3 cleaver specialists at the start. But I'm excited to start the new warband, Pain Inc. It's going to be super interesting. Can't wait to see whether it works or not. I mean, well, I kind of know already. I'm pretty confident it's going to be almost amazing against all organic targets. Against undead, as you might imagine, it's not going to be that great. But in my preliminary testing, I've done a little bit of testing offline of the theory of how I want to play warband, which is give everybody fearsome. And in the fights that we struggle with the most now, which is unholds and lindworms and orcs and whatnot, the ability to break morale is just amazing. And most of the fights just end, pretty much over even before. It's like you're halfway through working through the enemies and all of them are panicking. It's super effective. That build isn't great against undead, but I mean the undead are what we struggle with the least. And I think normally we do 7 up front, 5 at the back. When I do Pain Inc, I think I might go 5 up front, 5 tanks, 5 dedicated tanks up front, and then 7 on the back line. Only 2 of which will be archers. That's going to allow us to have a bunch of oh, I should have been using weapons. We have a bunch of guys like Sinrig, long axe user, breaking shields, and we can also have polearm users, because like the power of polearm users, it's hard to kind of understand how powerful they are until you've actually seen it. Especially once you get the war scythes. I remember we had war scythes for a while in this build, but I think I either lost them or sold them, which I regret now, very much so. Because in some of the fights, like when we get swarmed, having a couple of polearm lads with war scythes is super important. I know that when we go take on the Black Monolith, our 2-handed weapons are going to be really important for the AoE damage. I've currently only got 1 polearm lad who's got light armor, and I need another polearm guy. So I might just keep hunting for 2 more guys to use polearm, but to use heavy armor. So I do worry about the survivability of the light armor lads. So kind of what we're seeing here, what I want to do with Pain Inc. I want to have loads of backline lethal guys. Hit your ears. What are you talking, mate? What are you talking about? That's music to my ears. It's not quite as satisfying as the sound of goblins getting killed. That's the most satisfying sound. Hear that all day. Fucking goblin filth. Never used to be a goblinophobe, but then Battle Brothers made me a goblin racist. Goblinophobe. god, I hate the shaman. They suck. But that's the worst part. It's like they're not like super lethal or anything. They're just irritating. They're super annoying. You quite rightly pointed out. Boys, we're getting exhausted on the southern flank. Shit's getting real. Oh, no bell. 78 missed. 78 missed. Well, there's 31 left. We've already killed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15, 16, 17 of them. It started with 34, and of course a bunch more hatched. Yes, flee from my whip. Yes. I'm just realizing in this actually little game here, I should have, the frontline guys, it's right that I gave them fighting spears, but I should have made them carry their primary weapon in their backpack. Because once they're actually in melee contact like this, they should actually be using their main melee weapon. I mean, the fighting spears are great, don't get me wrong, for the extra damage, or extra hit chance. But most of these lads have pretty damn good melee skill already. Ah, he had another stab. Yeah, the spiders really are just primarily an early game threat. I don't find them to be that difficult. Once you're established, and I mean, the difference in fighting the spiders before and after getting 7 spears in your inventory, even if it's basic bitch militia spears, just giving everyone the chance to first of all hold them at bay, and then secondly be able to hit them reliably with the extra hit chance. And speaking of spears, it makes me think when I do my Pain Ink build, my 5 tanky lads, I've got to decide what weapon specialization I'm going to give them. Because it's either going to be axes, so they can break through shields and facilitate the back line, or it's going to be spears, so that they can hit the most regularly. I like that idea, because that gives my lads the best chance of hitting often, and like the main strength of those guys in that playthrough is going to be that they make enemies test morale every time they hit. I want to be hitting every single time. The damage is less important. What's more important is being able to hit and apply that morale break every time they attack. Ah! Shaman are just such ball bags. My technique, if I can, is I spread my guys up into 3 mini groups. So you leave a line between the 3 groups. And that way they can only entangle 1 group at a time. And then if you're able to, you move the whole front line forward immediately. If you can just move forward 2 squares, then your archers should be able to hit the shaman. And then as your front line gets pelted with arrows, at least your back line is firing arrows at the shaman. The broadswords are so good as well. I think in the discussion between whether I should give my tanks axes or spears, the broadswords is probably a good compromise, because you get more damage than you would from the spear, but you still get plus 10% chance to hit. And of course riposte is so amazing as well, especially when my guys are going to be using the morale break skill. If they're up against enemies that attack 3 times a turn, they could potentially be proccing the morale break 3 times every turn from 1 enemy. Like against direwolves, you will shatter direwolves. damage at his throwing weapons. Bloody great. But I'm out already. I got one left. For me, the biggest factor with the difficulty of the spiders is how leveled up your lads are. I mean, it's a bit of a truism. It's fair to say of all the fights, but you not only have to have high melee skill to be able to hit them, but the ability to get out of the spider webs is dependent on your melee skill. So the higher level and more accurate your guys are, the easier you get out of the webs. I wouldn't mind if they made a tweak to that, if they made it like a flat random percent, which then increases every time you try successively to get out of the spider webs. Because that way it kind of makes it easier, arguably makes it easier in the early game, but makes it, you know, more difficult in the late game. It's like fighting spiders now, when I'm this established, it's way too easy. Yeah, crypt cleavers are great. I've got a couple of them. But for me, the most important part, or the most utility that you get out of the cleavers is the fact that you can use the whips, because being able to disarm with the whip. Oh, Lionheart potion, finally. Okay, that Lionheart potion is really important for us. We got 2. Okay, we'll keep those when we are fighting against some big bads. Good. Klabak Festa is no longer aggro. Beavers are chosen. These little groups are like no challenge, but I'm going to keep checking what they are and what they have, because in case there's a named enemy in there. Weapons wise, whoa, 10,000. Trusty Flesh Terror, and very rare weapon built from valuable and strong materials. Despite its ceremonial look, it makes for a terrifying tool of destruction. Chance hit the head plus 10, max fatigue plus that. That actually reminds me, on the discussion of what to give my fearsome tanks, I shouldn't underestimate the usage of flails as well, especially these 3-headed ones. But the only thing that'll make me use a 3-headed flail over any other weapon on a fearsome guy is if it hits all 3 times with all 3 heads. Does fearsome proc all 3 times, or does it only proc potentially once per swing? Because if I can swing with that twice and hit an unhold, let's say 6 out of 6 times with each of the heads, and each time making it roll for morale, that could be amazing. It's going to be useless against armored targets, but then in that setup of mine, I'll have 5 frontline lads and 7 backline lads with 2-handed axes, with 2-handed, maybe even like a pole hammer, strip away the armor, and then the frontline guys can attack the unarmored target with the flail. That's going to make for an amazing bit of morale shattering. That's the theory, at least. I don't think I need that bullhook. The body. One, two, 5. The flails are amazing in the first 150 days. But as soon as you start fighting anything more than just a simple brigand raider, then the flails really start lacking in terms of the damage output. How many axe boys do I have? I think I only have 2. No, I've got 4. 1, 2. 4 great axes, so I need 4 bardishas. And I think I might just get rid of the great axes. The bardishas don't have the damage of the great axe, but the usefulness of the bardish is just so. Alcia, you are a hammer user. Hoghorse. Orc. axe. I'll hang on to this bullock because we are looking to hire another polearm user, and we have to retire Paragon then because he's a light armor boy and we don't need another light armor dude. And MK2 arguably, and I mean he's okay, he's done very well, especially considering he was only a gambler, but we can do better. I think we get rid of him and we hire 2 fresh recruits to be polearm specialists. Coman, who is the backup bannerman. Same on an Arch and Onimaru, who are the other 2 archers. It allows us to field 4 archers if we want. And then once I have 2 polearm reservists, then we can go in with no archers, or we can go in with 2 great axe users on the back and 2 polearm guys, and then all this whole front line. What's the other option that I could use? The other option is, instead of polearm guys, I could hire and recruit 2 specialist tanks. And then when we fight the Black Monolith, for example, I have the flanky guys, the tank guys, holding the outside flanks. Then you leave Banana Fint and Sinrig just with 2-handed weapons. And imagine if these 2 are tank specialists, but you leave a gap. Battle starts, you step them one across, leave a gap there, leave a gap there. You've got a Warhammer that can swing in that circle. Bardiche that can split. This is for executing and decapitating. This is for wrecking armor and breaking shields, decapitating, splitting, swinging in a circle. Flanks get held by the tanks. And then you have these great axe guys who have their long axes for attacking from range, and then once the flanks get compromised, they can then switch to like a 2-handed weapon like that and then go to work that way. How does that sound? I mean, that gives us more than enough AoE damage. Whereas if I go with this sort of setup, if I go with just my usual front line, I have my archers. I wonder if you would be able to, I'm thinking of the Black Monolith now, could you realistically look to pick off the enemy priests with archers? And they do almost no damage, but I fought the monoliths, I don't know. Regardless, for the moment, this is my best team setup. Anyway, I think I need to get rid of MK2 and Paragon. Paragon, we need to save up 8,000 to retire him, and 7,000. I'm not just gonna get rid of them. What's up, Donkey? Happy birthday, bud. Congrats. I can't just get rid of them. We've had them for too long. You have... Nope. This could be promising, but no, I need someone who's gonna be... I think I want at least a 5-star brother with distribution in either, like, he might be a fine polearm guy, but he won't have enough fatigue. Ooh, look at that. Glorious defense, 345 for 30. That's okay, it's not that great. Okay, we need to keep getting money going, and we need to keep periodically destroying these outposts. Encampment. Encampment. Outpost. And we said we found another goblin city. There you go, Lezenix. The gates to a great underground goblin city. It's maze-like tunnels teeming with vicious greenskins. So, like, is Lezenix the same as Rulgazix? They look a bit different. Yeah, that's like a smaller city. So I believe that this is like the main city, but we'll try the other one. 10 ambushes, skirmishers, 1 overseers, and all those shamans. Puke. So because of that, we will take all of our archers and we'll switch to swords and to one-handed weapons and shields. Don't I have another kite shield? I had another kite shield. Not. So here's what I do for the shaman. Like that. And they can only, but I mean if there's multiple shaman they're gonna hit little blocks like this. Oh god, it's gonna be terrible. The dogs on these guys on the outside flanks is pretty important actually. What's that? This is immunity to being stunned. Okay. Immunity to panic, and then who's wearing the ears? Well, it's just against green, not only fall for little tricks anymore, being rooted by nets or grasping vines. I think I might even give this to one of my archers. Give it to my best archer so he can... Yeah, let's give it to Horst. The Horst doesn't have to spend action points getting the vines off him. Focus on trying to pick off the shaman. Make no mistake, this is going to suck. Make sure we are taking antidote into this fight. I got 1 antidote. Alright, so if anybody gets fatally poisoned, get to Nexus. Okay, boys, good luck. Oh, there's not many ambushes. That should be fine. 1 overseer, 1 shaman. That makes it much easier. It's so weird how this happens. Like, it gives you 1 readout, and then as soon as you actually attack, it's different. I prefer that, though. Only 1 shaman to deal with, and the wolf riders are so much easier to deal with. And I forgot to give Hawk a shield. Perfect start. Hawk, you're gonna have to take a shield off the cold dead corpse of one of these skirmishers. You absolute enos. I hate these things, they're the worst. 3%, 4%. Only 45% chance to break out. I think these lads have a better chance of freeing him. But once I get my archers up here, should be in a decent spot. Get up there, boys. Coming! Charge! Imagine the little edit, instead of the French taunter, you actually had little goblins throwing shit off the battlements. Easy dodge, Exalt Panda. Yes, so Flexington, thanks for stopping by. Okay, so Simon and Horst, I think need to get to the center of the formation here, because yeah, these lads we can push forward, and then Simon and Horst can hopefully get an angle on that shaman. Up, Zerek. Oof. Hope these little fuckers don't have daggers. Okay, those two with the daggers, they need to be objective number 1. They're the most important things to kill. Being that they're the most dangerous thing on the field right now. Fucking nets, man, they're the worst. You have to release a few dogs here. Okay, only 2 of my lads, that's fine. Ow. %. Is it even worth a try? No, I don't think so. Oh, no bell. 41%. I think you're better off throwing weapons. Ah! 74, missed. Oof, almost. %. No, I've got to blast through these lads. For fuck's sake, 87% chances missed. Walk, you don't have quick hand. He didn't even drop his shield, the little bastard. This is bad. We're still fine. We're still fine. We're still fine. I just need those dagger-using skirmishers to not dagger my frontline boys. Good boy! That dog is Scooby Snack. Mother... Rip. Okay, the shaman ran forward insanely, which is so good for us. Make that shaman so much easier. Shot. Simon the God! Done. Right. Get him, boys. A shield dropped here somewhere. Moro, you are better with a bow, I think. Actually, no, at this range, I should have used this throwing weapon. Good round. Still, one of the boys got daggered, and let's see here, Boghouse is in danger of getting daggered as well. No, I love the bleeding to death effect. Another one bled to death. That was the wolf bleeding to death. Oh, Simon. Bloody disgusting goblins. Don't let any of them get away, boys. None of these things survive. I hate goblins. Literally the worst. I think this fight had a legendary chance rating of 25%, which is not bad. We've got to do 3 more of these outposts after this fight. So we may just get our hands on a few more legendaries before all of the outposts are destroyed. Good dogs. We just let the doggos tear this last goblin apart. Or give him a quick clean death. It's a goblin, what am I talking about? Quick clean death. Fucker. See if he survives. I don't think so. Oh, the dogs are chasing. The dogs are catching him. One more round. Here we go. Have any more dogs? Good boys. Well, don't have to feed the dogs tonight. Didn't get a legendary, but we did get a goblin poison, which is nice. Male patch, don't have a need for that. Marked impaler, don't have a need for that. Oops. And what's always annoying about fighting these goblins is we've got to take a few days off to let the guys cover their injuries. Nearest temple. Oh, and tools. I might have to head to the south actually. We make so much more money, so much quicker when we operate down in the south. Hang on to all of the gossamer. The gnarly staff may be of interest to collectors, so I'll hang on to that. We can get offered a good amount of money for that. I can probably sell this third military cleaver because we only have 2 cleaver guys operating up front. Weapon-wise, nothing much that I need really. Keep grinding. Ooh, an unhold, a beastmaster, and some reavers. Downward terrorizers. Might be worth it, quick mission. So what we need is more Alp skin. Actually, I should take this mission because if it's Nachtseers, I can get Nachtseer teeth. To get more antidote, which is actually pretty important. Should also fight more tree men. Yeah, it's direwolves. Although this doesn't pay very well at all, I mean, this mission will be over so quickly. couple of these fuckers are frenzied though. I should have been using throwing weapons. Three. Got to do 3 more. So for now, we're just going to get to a temple, treat our one injured lad as soon as he is healed up. Go to another outpost. Although I might want to periodically head down to the south, do big missions to get our money up, because our money is actually quite low. We are paying like 600 gold per day in salary. Well, I hope it'll work. I've no idea how many goblins we're going to be up against. I'm sure it's going to be a buttload. Damn it. God, run them down, boys. Get 'em. One thing that I must say was a pleasant surprise in my little offline experimentation that I'm busy doing to test my fearsome build. I chose the Monster Hunter background. And the Monster Hunter background does suck because you get less money, but you do get more crafting items from enemies. That's especially pretty cool because that means that you get more lindworm scales and more shrat hearts and stuff like that, which are so hard to get your hands on. Anyways, let's make our way south. In fact, at Nibelheim, I might even catch a boat all the way. Gold, what you got for us? Green skins, pay us more. Brawling green skins, easy, 2,000 gold. We have, yeah, Vigilant. 8 points. Gold. 8 for undead. Looking for potential tanks, or maybe someone with nice accuracy that we can turn into a polearm user. What I mean to do here? Oh yes, paint a shield. That's true, Donkey. Yeah, that's true. Get a flat minus 10% to all prices. Lurkers, warriors, ward. Not worth fighting. Let's see. Daemon runs up to you with a bundle of herbs in hand. Look good. You want to volunteer? Nice. 12 medical supplies. Amazing. I thought we can try that because if some of the brothers got poisoned, we have reserves. Loads of reserves. So why hasn't our ambition triggered yet? A famed weapon, shield, armor, and helmet. I mean, there's the helmet. Weapon. Oh, all my famed shields got destroyed. Ugh, I had an inventory cluttered up with a bunch of famed shields. And they all got destroyed. Oh. Oh, Battle Brothers. Ah, let's see, there's another infamous wolf crown. 162 for 4 fatigue. That is incredible. So good. 162 for 4 compared to 158 for 6. Wow, that's good. And it doesn't impede vision. I think we should buy that. It's going to get our money right down low. Holy shit, that's incredible. What's 7? I really only need 7 of those. Armor ready to go for the new lads. I can't not buy that. That is such an amazing helm. It's 372 EHP up to 383, so a nice little 160 for 7, 186. Tiny little improvement there. 293 compared to 90. Alright. Is a top-notch helm. Isn't it beautiful? That a sturdy metal helmet with attached mail covered with an impressive wolf head. Lovely. Also, I must remember to hang on to a few more of these heater shields. Need 2 more. What can we afford to sell here? The leather scale armor I'm going to hang on to because it has those sigils, which makes it very good for when we fight the witch's hut. Let's see, Dirkers, warriors, and a warlord. Go for the old two-handed weapon setup. Big great axes. How often am I going to use split? Actually, not that much. If it's orc warriors, I want to do more damage. 180 to 225 armor damage. 146 to 185 armor damage. I think great axe is the way to go. Get them, boys. Wait a second, it's 54 minutes. This episode's too long. Take a little break, YouTube people. When we come back, we're going to squash these orcs and then go take on another goblin outpost. 3 more to go and we can take on the goblin city.